It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by AgileDad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. If someone would have told me 3 years ago that I'd be sitting with you today recording the episode number 750 of the Agile Daily Stand Up Podcast, I think I would have looked at him and said, I don't know. I think that sounds like crazy talk to me because who would have thought that this podcast would explode the way that it did? So I thought that I would identify three big wins in my life that I want to celebrate and talk a little bit about why it's important to celebrate big wins. So here we go. Win number one. I have been happily married to the woman of my dreams for the last, are you sitting down? For the last almost 24 years. And what I can tell you is I wouldn't take any one of those days back. Things have just been incredible. Each day is a new journey. We go through all of our adventures. Now, that's not to say where we don't have any disagreements or where we have differences in opinion, because everyone does, and that's part of life. But I can tell you that I honestly love my wife more today than I did yesterday. She's my rock, and she's awesome. She tolerates me. She's got to be awesome, right? All right, thing I want to celebrate number two is my children, my family. Now, I realize that for many of you, we all go through struggles with our kids, whether it's, young or old, whether when they're really young, it's, all the baby struggles, as I call them, and the things that we go through, or even when they're older and they have struggles where they need help from mom and dad. But for me, I've been so fortunate. I have two sons that are out serving people or in different countries. One is about to leave Honduras, and one is in Mexico, both for 2 years. I have an oldest daughter who's making magic at Disney, and I have a youngest daughter who kind of is the glue that holds our strong family together. And it's just been so awesome to see them grow and to celebrate with them and to see her as she traverses through her teenage years. It's just been quite impressive. The level of maturity and the things that they've learned and the way that they've walked away, it has just been nothing less than remarkable. And it's definitely a journey worth celebrating. I mean, every single thing about what they do is worth celebrating. All right, I'm going to pick a third thing. So, the third thing that's worth celebrating is my faith. And I know that I generally don't talk specifically about religion on this podcast. But what I will tell you is that my faith keeps me grounded and makes me whole. And it's something that I love to share with other people. Whoever's interested in learning more about me or what makes me the weird, crazy, wacky person that I am, or how on earth do I have enough time to do all the things that I do, or how do I have time to serve others, and what types of things make me tick? This is just a great opportunity. If you know me and you learn more about my faith and my background, then a lot about me makes sense. And I think it's just so important for us to find that sound foundation that we can, put our stake in and say, yes, this is it. This is going to be, the best day ever. And I think that those three things help me to celebrate Agile Dad and to be grateful for all those many blessings and for you and for all the things that happen in my life. It's just so awesome when I know I can wake up each morning and that my day is going to be filled with finding a way to uplift someone else or finding a way to celebrate someone else. And over the past few weeks, I've just had so many milestones. I'm being asked to keynote an industry-wide conference, the Project Manager Business Analysis Conference in Orlando. Going to be absolutely outstanding. I'm in negotiations right now at International Institute for of Learning to IIL to talk with them about keynoting or ramping up something for one of their big Agile conferences. I've also just recently been selected to be one of the primary speakers at the Agile 2023 conference in Orlando. It's just so amazing that I'm having these opportunities to share my story and to talk to others about what they can do to help build bridges and tear down walls and to help people live without bias and to help people celebrate the things that are important in their life. One big takeaway from this podcast episode, my challenge for you on this agile, not so agile episode of the Daily Stand Up Podcast, my challenge for you is going to be to find something to celebrate. Celebrate a person, celebrate an event, Celebrate giving, celebrate love. And there's so much opportunity out there for us to spread our wings and celebrate. I think that far too often the world and the news and media, and especially social media, teaches us to put up walls and to hate people for silly reasons, or to judge people based on who they love or who they worship or what's happening in their lives. And the truth is, it's time for us to take the fabric of our story and intertwine it with the fabric of other people's stories so we can create a beautiful tapestry called life. Once we do that, and we can get rid of all the blinders and the goggles, and we can stop being so reliant on our bias to pull us through, and look at each person with dignity and respect, and look at each person and celebrate their talents and their gifts, and realize that it doesn't matter who they love, who they worship, or what's going on in their life. It doesn't matter who they voted for, that we're all humans and that we all have great talents and values. And I think that if we could get back to some of those fundamental things, that's going to help us succeed with life. And it's going to help us just be better to our kids. And it's going to help us to really shine and be an example. So, to all those I love, I want to say thank you. I can't do it without you. And until next week, I encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile. Until next time, do take care.